So, boys, we
There
might
you go.
have an issue. Cruz, get back here. We're keeping this in the live.
Okay, I'm here.
Oh, okay, here he comes.
I think he was.
I was about to say, all right, how are we going to do this with no, only the three of us? Look, Larry, you figured it out.
Yep. False alarm.
What was it saying?
It was saying my ability to go live has been restricted.
That's amazing.
But then it let me join. So Comrade Hosha threw in a good word for me.
See,
Oh, that's
that is the ultimate capitalist contradiction, boys, because even though they'll shoot us dead in the street like dogs, as long as we can generate TikTok revenue, the capitalists will continue to allow us to have a platform.
Absolutely.
But that's kind of the thing. Is ultimately, the old quote: "The revolution won't be televised." But
It'd be on a podcast.
if the money's good enough, it will be.
It'd be like pay-per-view, watch the
Yeah,
Washington Uprising on YouTube Premium.
Yeah, you gotta like, subscribe, and smash that bell notification.
For the end of the world. They would do that though. Like if a meteor was gonna crash into the Earth, it'd be like you have to subscribe to the live on TV.
Did you ever watch the movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah, and it was way better than I expected it to be.
Yeah,
I liked it, but it was still lib shit, to be honest.
I mean, you're just that radical.
You're too radical. Okay, have you thought about calming it down a bit?
You got to be like AOC, those my fellow radicals, when God, I hate her.
Showing up to the Met Gala with like a $1,000 dress that says "Eat the Rich."
While she pretends to cry outside of my
Didn't even go as far.
concentration camp. Oh, goodness gracious, there, right? Time to spam the fans.
Before I spam the fans, I'm gonna go pee.
All right, I'm keeping this all in. We're live.
Oh, my bathroom is like right next to where I record,
Okay,
so I hope all of you are ready to hear me.
Don't mute. Oh no, guys! I just fucked up majorly.
What?
I just sent a bunch of invites, but they weren't invites to watch. They're invites to join.
Oh Jesus!
He's like, hey, join our podcast.
Get out and start kicking people off.
Look at you doing the mass line out here. Look at that.
You're like, sorry, I didn't mean it.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like the format on this thing changed. Nice. Did you hear that, Flush?
It could be Cruz. I don't know.
It might be me. I rearranged my setup.
Oh my gosh!
I was gonna say you did sound a little different.
There might be a bit more that, and compared to because when we stream on TikTok, I can't do it from my computer, so I can't use like my good microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just using my phone speaker.
You gotta
There's
get
like
them.
Did our wife force
make
you
it
to
work,
start
but
broadcasting from the toilet?
I think so. We heard the flush.
hey, buddy, you go in the other chair.
The people's flush.
Do you guys hear the background, or is it just me? I'll just leave.
All right, now that goddamn trot is out of here, we can start the podcast.
Oh, good.
Welcome to Kollectiv Podcast number 8. We took a bit of a break last week because it's really tiring being this glorious.
We're still figuring it out,
Don't tell him that. Oh, he's back.
Oh, shit.
All right, scram, everybody. Put away the ice picks.
All right, tonight's episode, Trotsky, based or not?
Get out. Don't even joke. Invite him here. We already got mad beef with the anarchists, even though, they're trash. But now the
Honestly,
Trotsky,
fuck the anarchists. I'm about to go on a glorious crusade. I'm gonna be real.
do it. Why do you believe anarchists are the enemy of the proletariat? Go off.
Fuck you. That's why.
Based.
It's okay. We'll have like a whole at some point. You know, with the amount of passion I have on this topic right now, I'll make my my own entire goddamn video about this. And I'll probably be arguing with these people for the next like 2 months until I'm bored with it.
You already kind of did, you know. You got a video right now on the YouTube. Please, somebody out there, go check it out. As well as our new video that we just dropped. Why indigenous folk would benefit from Marxist Leninism. I know that's not exactly the title, but fuck you. You'll see what it is. Please go check it out. I'll give you a forehead kiss. Check out clips. Check out Cutie's video.
Yeah, they'll have to wait for mine until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard tomorrow.
Wow. So in 10 years, when they're listening to this in the trenches during the revolution, they're going to be like, who the fuck are these people? What are they talking about?
What are you talking about? Podcasts. We're in the middle of full-blown revolution. What is going on?
There's like a proletarian people's war, and it's just us like rambling on about random shit about on a radio, and they're like literally in the trenches, and it's like us being oh yeah.
You know, we said this before, but I really hope that in the future, when they listen to this, they'll be like, yeah, the founding daddies of the revolution were definitely very lib because they were just on a podcast the whole time instead of, you know, insert censor here.
I mean, if we do our jobs right, future generations should look back and say we didn't do enough and that we weren't radical enough.
But AOC said we are.
That's true. And she's the most radical out of all of us.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're starting People's War in Nebraska tomorrow.
What assets are there to seize in Nebraska? I don't even know.
I got a hint. We've got a really, really big spoon lined up to collect what Nebraska's got.
Oh. It'd be like a lot of more all over again.
I was playing... You ever play the game Payday 2?
Yeah.
I was playing it recently, recently as in a couple hours ago. And one of the melee weapons in it is a comically large spoon. And I was robbing a bank. I was like, oh man, it's just like Stalin. It's exactly how it went down. He walked into the bank with a comically large spoon.
Based as always. Based to Comrade Stalin.
Stalin was an adventurist, anarchist at the time. Cringe, Stalin.
Have you even read any anarchist theory?
I've read On Authority 12 times in a week.
I was gonna say.
Unfortunately, I've read some anarchist theory.
I was gonna say
the theory of Proudhon. One of the main anarchists, where he wants to get rid of Jewish people.
Proudhon.
That's some not awesome theory, but you know.
You know who loved anarchist theories?
Who?
The man with the mustache in
cringe.
Germany. He actually anarchist theory did a great job at helping to shape the policies of the Third Reich.
Whoops.
Fun fact.
I kind of want to say Cap, but like it wouldn't surprise me too much. Source.
Yeah.
Source Cruise. You want to source that
Marxist has all the sources on his Instagram.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
I made it the fuck up.
That's literally what this entire week has been arguing with anarchists and Trotskys on TikTok. I feel like I've never seen it as bad before on this app, or maybe I just didn't pay attention that much. But I don't know, man. Pretty cringe, pretty L. Speaking of cringe and L, so do you guys... Now, I haven't actually looked it up, but I'm pretty sure from New York City, it would cost me more money to fly to Hawaii than what Biden gave the residents of Maui for their entire home burning the fuck down.
100%. It would.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
What the hell is that? That's less than what we were given even during lockdown.
Yeah, we were given what? I think it was $1,000 in one payment and then $600 another or something like that.
yeah, I think it was
So
$1,200 for the first payment. I never got any of it because
Very
cringe
good.
government.
for me, it was 1,400. Both me and my wife, because we have kids, so we got a bit more.
Right. Jeez, that's crazy. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of apologists online, of course, for FEMA and President Biden's actions for all the people who have been suffering in Hawaii due to the worst wildfire disaster right now in the United States history and Hawaii's history. People are saying, well, that's the only amount of money legally that FEMA is allowed to give. And this is sort of my general problem with liberals who follow the status quo so much, is that they only see things in the binary set of rules. Like, I understand that that's legally how much FEMA can give, but this entire island literally just burned down to the ground. So how can you look at that situation and not think maybe we should break the rules, or maybe we shouldn't have these rules to begin with?
And they never question that the masses are limited in what we can receive as aid by law, but as far as limits on the military-industrial complex, fueling imperialism, bank bailouts, so on and so on, that has no upper limit.
I mean, how much money have we given to Ukraine so far? What is it, like billion?
Yeah,
No, like I'm literally like
lots of dollars.
right now. I'm currently doing the calculations to see if you spread out all the money that we sent to Ukraine amongst each of their citizens. I think at the very least, because I did this earlier, if they gave 30 million, like 31, 33 million Ukrainians, I have to check what the exact population is, right? Because I kind of eyeballed it. But if you gave them all $700, it's only like a third of all the money they've given to Ukraine.
Yeah.
So it's like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally insanity. You rather give that much money to a neo-Yahtzee military than your own citizens.
But boys, if we give more than $700 to the people of Maui, they will just go out and buy Swiss cake rolls and ring dings and wind up obese.
I was about to fucking make that same goddamn joke, Larry. I was like, what's that guy's name who made that shitty ass song? Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like the beginning of the song. I'm like, all right, I get it. And then he's like, fuck poor
Up until about a minute 30 is when all of a sudden he takes a jab at obese welfare recipients, is specifically what he says.
Yeah. 5'3" on welfare. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, cool. You had me in the first half.
Yeah.
What?
Like, you dead ass were all on point until then, and it's crazy because like it was really telling on social media, like people who don't have material analysis of the world, when they're like, "Well, what an inspiring song," and it's like, bro, did you not get to the second verse? Like,
they listened to the first 10 seconds and they're
he's
like,
talking about you.
Second verse, not the same as the first.
Literally, I just don't understand it. Like, you have no conception of, like, one, why poor people are poor, and two, why a lot of poor people in the Imperial Corps, especially children, are overweight. Okay, maybe, to be fair, I could understand it in a sense of, like, okay, if people don't have food, then people are going to lose weight. So if they're big and bloated, then they probably have enough money. But that's the unique aspect of poverty in America. Even though there is significant food insecurity in the United States, it's not like there is mass starvation going on. On the other hand, though, the food available to the poor, I mean, it's what they call them, glizzies, tube steaks, ramen noodles, wingdings, whatever, that you're going to give your kids because your kids are hungry and you don't have any money. And so they're going to puff up because now look at this urban sprawl that people live in. There's no public infrastructure to go play sports or have kids run around like that. So what do when they're bored and sad and depressed? They eat. And you're not going to not feed your kid. So then they blow up. And then you got some dumbass white guy making a really dumbass song about him.
Right. And there's, when we talk about the food, there's two types of malnutrition. It's the malnutrition is the problem. You can have not getting enough calories and getting the wrong type of nutrients. And we wind up getting the wrong type of nutrients, not because of personal choices, but because of what's produced. And what's produced is cheap. And what is cheap is garbage. We have very little to no say in the matter. And that's the problem with, and I made a video on it myself. This is a problem when you have no cadres out there, when you have no working class, proper political education, you get shit like this.
Exactly. You have reactionary forces who maybe mean well, and they look at the world around them and they say, oh, well, fuck those fat brown kids. It's somehow their fault.
Right. I think I mentioned that I don't think that when he says 5'3" and obese people on welfare, he doesn't mean his fat Uncle Jimmy, right?
Nope. A fat Uncle Jimmy's a hard worker, okay?
Mm-hmm. He's talking about Mexicans.
Yeah, exactly right.
Fucking jerk. Oh, God.
So I want to interrupt this topic for just a second.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
I was asked for a source.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I have found the source. So if you go on Instagram and look at Jewish Marxist, who is amazing at cataloging Jewish history and Marxism through Judaism, has been doing this series. A is for anti-Semitism. And the source for the one where I said that the Third Reich really loved anarchist theory comes from the Holocaust Museum. And it specifically sources the book Socialism for the Petty Bourgeois, Pierre Joseph Proudhon. And it is considered a precursor for the Third Reich.
Wow.
In which he details, here's one quote from it. All the Jews, they alone are organized for the conquest of the world. Everywhere they have a synagogue, an operations center. They multiply proselytism. I don't know how to say that word. Already they swarm in Rome, all based on and speculation. When the Third Reich started burning, or when those forces started burning books, they burned Engels, Lenin, works by Stalin, Marx, even Charles Darwin. However, the anarchist books were proudly received. There's my source.
So how does any anarchist reconcile that? I would really love to hear that.
So there is someone in the comments that says, but Stalin.
Oh.
Well, that's it.
I didn't think of that. Wow.
Are you able to link that to me at some point? Either now or later.
I can't do it from my computer, so I can.
Yeah, that's okay. That way I can weaponize it against people. Did you say that there was a direct link between the H-man and that, or is it just more they're saying the same thing? So
it
correlate.
Seems like within these slides on Instagram, there are links to articles that have discussed this and how German fascism really looked at the writings of these early anarchist thinkers very, very fondly. I wouldn't say it's they caused that thinking, but they definitely read it and were super into it.
Yeah, they liked the utopian ideology portion of anarchism, where the proud German farmer. They had all of they had very similar idealist notions of what the world should look like under their rule. So yeah, I can see absolutely how
this person has all kinds of stuff like this. It's been this whole like series. Like you got one on Machno, Pradhan. I linked his profile in our Discord, but for anyone listening, Jewish Marxist on Instagram.
Jeez.
Yep.
So, you asked me for a source, and unlike most of the people we talked to, I provided one.
Wow.
So to be clear, your source is Instagram. No,
My source is Instagram, Wikipedia, and Google. To be fair, if you do type in anarchism and like Mustache Man, there are links. Like people have made these links.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it could be, something that I haven't really looked into in a while. But I remember that, like, 1 second.
What happened?
Where'd he go?
What is going on?
He was too stunned
I'm
to
sorry.
speak.
No, it's somebody was like knocking on my door, and then they started talking to me. So I was trying to have somebody else's voice in the podcast. But basically, I could be too. I always was under the assumption that a lot of the fascists were old Hegelians, like they were Hegelian, and they were as a result not idealists, like they were more concerned with I suppose like materialism in like a less objective way that Marxists see it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of people, like back then, it's like people studied Hegel and then they either became effectively a Marxist or a fascist. Like it went.
I mean, it's entirely possible that because fascists are goofballs, and they don't really seem to understand anything that they read, that they were more enamored with Hegel's understanding of like utilizing state power to achieve your desired ends.
Right.
And they saw that and they were like, well, this is what our takeaway will be, nothing else. And then they read, it's possible that they read some anarchist theory and they're like, these guys are also based, let's do them at the same time.
And then they took a bunch of meth and we got the Third Reich.
Yeah, that's funny. I also read a bunch of Hegel and did a bunch of meth, but I wound up as a communist. So,
I mean, it's basically a coin toss.
There must be some scientific approach of how much meth you can do.
Yes, it's the true.
Can we fund a study like how much meth before you become a fascist?
I think there's a whole book on that. I think it's called Blitz.
Clearly, I did just the right amount. I wound up on the right side of the aisle.
Glad to have you, comrade.
Yeah. Praise be to meth and Hegel.
So do you think Hunter Biden did meth but cocaine, it would be based or
he would be free based?
free based? It's so annoying. Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, but yeah, that's the end of my little tangent from what we were talking about. I just wanted to provide the source for my bullshit.
You felt personally insulted by that. You took that personally.
That's right. We're challenged. We step up to the plate.
Good for you, boys.
I sat here and I was like, someone's going to call me out on it if I don't do something.
Well, basically, so what happened was you did a much better job than what the Biden administration did, because when they were called out about their response about these $700, they literally said no comment.
No comment.
And that one, I could also pull out a source.
Yeah.
And I took my own calculations here for it, right? And it comes out to, for the $75 billion that was sent to Ukraine so far, right? And there's definitely more, but that's what they say at face value, right? So we'll go with the lowest estimate, right? And then you take Ukraine's 43.75 population, which I rounded up to 44 to be even more charitable. It comes out to every single individual there. If you were to spread out that money, they would have all gotten $1,700.
That's crazy. That's absolute bananas.
Two and a half times what the poor people of Maui got. Yeah,
it's just so. At last check, the death toll was at 96.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was about 96. The entire area is decimated.
Yeah.
People are already trying to buy that old land. These people are being displaced, nowhere really to go, and the government just said, "Here's $700. Go find a place." Like you can't get rent anywhere at that level. Like
you can't stay,
especially on fucking Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's obscene. You can't get a week in a hotel. You can't get shit with you can only get so many ring dings with that even.
Hell, as expensive as Hawaiian tourism is, you probably couldn't get a night in a hotel for most of those places.
But people are still landing in Hawaii right now, like ready for some fun in the
they're
sun.
Literally using it right now. They're like there was a video I saw where it was somebody from the island literally talking about how like all that shit had happened, but like the tourists were still like just chilling at the beach, like nothing happened.
Oh yeah, I had seen one where they were like, people are swimming where we had just pulled bodies out. Like 2 days ago, we pulled bodies out of our neighbors, of our friends, of our family, and they're just there swimming, they're snorkeling.
Yeah, and I know those. We got confirmed 96 dead. I think there's still 1,300 missing. So that total is likely to rise.
I don't know. R.I.P. Hawaii, but disasters like this, as capitalism continues to endlessly consume, it's just going to get worse. But that's why we do what we do. I was just looking at the article again. So that's literally what he said, and I'll put it in the description when this goes out. They literally said, no comment. Well, Joe Biden is on vacation somewhere. So, excellent leadership. And people are still going, libs are still going to support him and think that he did a better job. At least Donald Trump threw paper towels at people. Like, I have to say that.
It'll be interesting to see as we ramp up towards like election season, how they will try to spin the Biden administration with all, because they're going to be asked these questions like, what about Maui? What about such and such? Is he just going to say no comment forever?
Yes.
Why are there still kids in cages?
So far, he refused to debate anybody in the primaries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's not going to happen.
And they're probably going to end up losing, and they're going to be like,
It was those damn progressives again.
The progressives over here talking about. I don't even know what they're talking about at this point. Like
not the fires.
They're just over the corner crying, honestly.
You ain't doing shit. And then not only that, but to really add insult to industry, the head of the Department of Justice said yesterday that there is no constitutional right to a stable climate system.
Mm-hmm.
What does that even mean?
So, like, the government's gonna. What it means is the government is gonna swing whatever it has around, and if it destroys your environment, tough titties, go move somewhere else, buddy.
That's, I don't know. That's just like, how can you hear that and still continue to support status quo? I don't, like, you don't have a constitutional right to a stable environment. Excellent.
You're going to kill us, is what I'm hearing.
Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, but if it's against capitalism's interests, you can go fuck yourself, I guess.
You know what would make me happy? Not having my land on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you considered, just deciding to be happy and stop whining?
Oh yeah, I
Because
forgot.
you
It's
and your people have never had it so good, Ivan.
Oh man, I've heard that before. You know what? I was actually having a similar conversation. Some of you guys know, at my workplace, unionizing and striking efforts are in effect. So anyway, I was talking to maybe or maybe not my boss, and I was just kind of going on a tirade about material conditions and what have you, and they had said to me, effectively, well, Ivan, people, 99% of the world, we live better than 99% of the world, which is not true. And people would really love, to come here. Now, to be fair, if you're working in a lithium mine in, Central Africa or Asia, you probably would rather be here. But many, many, many people rather be where they are than here in the Imperial Core. Fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, like we definitely have more access to like commodities, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of a difference when we have a shit ton of homeless people. Like we're better off than a lot of countries, right? But like we should be, because our GDP is like fucking 1,000 times theirs. So like if we weren't better off, that would be like even worse. You know what I mean?
I don't know, it's just vomit inducing. But, it is nice to see that there are forces in the world, oppressing. I guess that would make worse actually, oppressing or going against the status quo. So I was just looking in the news. Niger and its new government still exists. I think it's been about 2 weeks since the deadline happened, and they haven't been invaded by ECOWAS. There was some kind of incident with a French plane that may or may not have bombed a Nigerian National Guard base, but it's unclear if that's exactly what happened. I mean, they're French and stinky, so I wouldn't be exactly surprised if that's what they did, but we don't actually have the proof. But it's interesting, I think France and the United States was really banking on the Nigerian government to sort of back down and cower away on the threats of violence, and they're still there.
They're like, bring it.
Yeah, and I think the U.S. and France hesitate to do more. They rather use the Nigerians as their military force because they don't want to risk an expanding war all over the globe. And I think, unipolarity is on such a tipping point that really, I think, virtually anywhere in the world now, any local regional conflict can now boil into the Third World War if we haven't already started the Third World War.
I think we talked about that on another podcast where we were just like, has what we would put in a history book as Third World War, would we say it had already started?
Yeah, I think that was one of our earliest. I feel that.
Absolutely.
We've got conflicts in West Africa. We've got the Ukraine-Russian conflict, budding conflict in China, the constant warfare in the Middle East, and then we've got coup attempts in Latin America, and let's not forget that I think specifically Republicans within the Congress have actively talked about invading Mexico.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Cuba, because there's talk of trying to invade Cuba again.
Are they going to try for the 684th time?
It's what it seems like.
Get the it's not Fidel anymore, but Jesus Christ. Haven't you learned your lesson, old man?
Seriously.
And it's actually wild how many of them think that Fidel Castro's son is in charge of the country.
Yeah. Well,
what, Justin Trudeau?
I love that. That's my favorite, conspiracy theory.
It's true. Look at him, bro.
They look the same.
It's true in my head canon regardless.
Exactly. His daddy laid pipe not only to the revolution but to his mom.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just wild that again, just so many liberals, if not all liberals, in the United States, at least online, supporting action against Niger because, well, it's not democratic. And it goes back to what I was saying about breaking the rules. Like, the Nigerians impose their will onto the country, what is right for them, and liberals. So, would you tell me that when the stinky French fought the occupying mustache man forces, that was against the rules?
Yes.
You can't just rebel.
It's very much.
That's not allowed.
It's illegal to rebel, please.
No, you have to get together. You have to be so hyped up to go vote for the Liberal Party, the vote blue. You have to be so hyped up that you're willing to do it tomorrow, and only then will the freedom and happiness and prosperity come.
I can't wait for election season to come up and all the content Collective's going to make, sneaking phones into the booth or whatever.
It's going to be great.
Low key, I might fucking.
Don't.
We need you.
Do we have to bleep that for YouTube?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you probably do.
Bleep that. Bleep.
Might have to bleep that for this.
I was going to say, the algorithms. I think that was one of our problems earlier. Is I think we mentioned we got too much dip on our chip and mentioned Mustache Man way too early into the broadcast.
Yeah.
So I think the algorithm's like, oh no, get this out of here.
Yeah.
Well, we just say some pro Mustache Man stuff and we'll get views.
I can't.
What?
Well, you're gonna. So I think that's low key. Pretty similar. I don't have to bleep that too. I think we found the clip for the episode.
Okay, it's the only base move he ever did was the end.
The April 30th, 1945. That was the most base.
Oh my god.
This is going to be our worst view count.
We lost the viewer.
that flush we heard earlier was actually the podcast going down.
Yes, this is it. In case you haven't heard it.
It's all the Riz that Muerte took away with him.
Yeah.
He took it all. All
right. So to answer the question, has World War III started? These are the criteria for a world war that must be met. Conflict takes place between multiple nations across the globe. Battles are fought in many different locations. And the war must be fought against great powers with significantly advanced technology.
Bro, that's been happening.
So the only thing that, from what I can tell here, that has not constituted like them calling it World War III is that except for Russia, none of the great powers have really declared war. They're just doing like the war on terrorism or dealing with conflicts and things like that. But the United States hasn't technically declared war.
I'm not even sure if Russia did declare war on Ukraine.
No, it's military.
It's just a special operation. That
doesn't count.
Yeah,
that is honestly like the most cringe shit ever, to be honest.
Honestly,
like we know what you're doing, dog. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Despite its size, can we really call Russia a great power?
I mean, it's kind of getting its shit rocked by they're not doing awesome. I'll put it like that. So
what I'm saying with Russia is other than nukes, their ability to project their military power is basically non-existent.
Yeah, I think, and that goes into this argument we see all the time where people are saying, is Russia imperialist or are they an empire? And the answer simply is no. They don't have the means to forcibly open new markets and extract wealth from other countries the way that the real empire does, which is the United States and by extension Europe.
They have not
Export of
achieved
final
the highest
capital
stage of capitalism, but they would love to.
Oh, for sure.
I think it depends on what your definition of empire is. Like, if you're using a conventional one, it is an empire because it already controls, like, other ethnic groups than it's stated, like Russia, like Russian. But, like, it's, it's not the same type of empire as the United States or the UK or France, like, especially France.
Yeah, fuck France.
Russia is just a massive. It's just a massive country that happens to be a former superpower when it was part of the Soviet Union, but it's just a giant country in the imperial periphery.
Yep.
Because of its former status as part of the Soviet Union, people have this idea that it's some great power, but it's not. It's a shadow.
Some people still think it's literally the Soviet Union, dog. Like, they literally still think that the Soviet Union exists.
Right.
It's like, what is wrong? How do you not know this?
Putin wants to put together the Soviet Union again. We fucking wish.
Honestly, I wish.
If Putin just walked up and he's like, you know what? We're going to go back to it.
The Simpsons, like, we got you, Americans.
So yeah, the card and the UN thing flipped over. I would love that. How many people do you think? You know what? No, I was gonna ask you guys if the Soviet Union to be reestablished. Like, how many, us dirty millennial communists would want to move over there? But then I realized the Americans would just kill us. They'll be like, "Oh, you're going on a plane to Moscow?"
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if such a thing were to happen, it depends. Like, in the early days of the Soviet Union, there were lots of people that immigrated to there. Lots of people that went over to work over there from America. But post World War II was a completely different story. Obviously, Cold War, true Cold War. I have no idea what it would. I mean, I would imagine that they would be even more sanctioned and despised because they would be like a giant North Korea again, or DPRK. Sorry to my Korean comrades.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. I slip up sometimes. There's only one Korea. The other part is occupied imperial territory.
I was going to say, there's the true Korea and occupied Korea.
I mean, the DPRK was established first, so.
True.
Revisionism.
True.
No, Kim Jong-un or Il or whichever, Rocket Man, cringe, just ate old grain and invaded Vietnam.
It's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vietnam.
No joke. I would move to the Soviet Union if it got back together, though. I would be out of here, and I would be.
Oh, bro, it'd be so tempting. I really wouldn't know what to do.
There's no tempting. I would be there like tomorrow. No shit.
It'd be like so tight, dude.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I appreciate the struggle here, but I'm getting old. I want to go live in. I want to go live in the Soviet Union if it comes back. Sorry.
I mean, my ass would probably just stay here. I'd be like, I don't speak Russian.
Yeah.
I gotta do it here, I guess.
Yeah.
So yes, and we were about to go on to Vietnam. Yes.
No, I was gonna say, Vietnam is making some moves to join BRICS. Cruz, you were talking about that earlier.
Yep. So it was announced a few days ago that the upcoming BRICS summit, which I believe is the 15th one, I think it's the 15th one, and Vietnam is sending 15 representatives to establish stronger ties to the other members of BRICS, including China.
But I thought communism was with no money.
Communism is no money, which is why they can send 15 people, because they have 15 other people with a gun behind them forcing them to go.
Oh. I don't know why. I didn't expect you to say that.
You weren't ready, and I need you to get ready.
Yeah. I just.
Like, we're trying to get demonetized before we even can be monetized.
Yep.
So
We're just going to say whatever we want.
I think that's the title of this episode.
Yeah.
We're demonetized already.
the title of the episode is "I'm gonna do whatever I want."
It's going to be called
Beginning of the end.
But we had discussed before that Vietnam and China have not had the best relations throughout history, not just like the last like major war that China had been part of was with Vietnam back in the 70s.
Cringe Deng Xiaoping moment.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely common Deng Xiaoping L.
You're gonna get all the fuck Marx. God damn it, Marxist-Leninist Maoists all riled up.
What do you mean? They're gonna be ultra based collective moments.
That's not what I meant.
Talking
to
shit
say.
about Deng Xiaoping.
So before I get us
Who knows?
demonetized,
Maybe the
what do
more
y'all think
liberally
about
inclined
Vietnam?
leftists are gonna be mad at us.
This episode is insanity. What were you saying, Cruz?
I said before I get us demonetized by saying more shit. What do you all have to say about Vietnam with Vietnam? God damn it!
Oh my god!
Where's Morty?
Where is he?
Well, since we're getting demonetized anyway, I would like to quote Alexander Dugin.
Oh my god. This is what happens when we took a week break. If this is gonna happen every 5 weeks, we're gonna
have to extend how long before we can take a break.
Yeah, I think so. Jeez.
Fucking get it together, guys! Jesus Christ!
No, you know what? It's okay because it's good to have shit posting episodes because sometimes being a communist and this is actual. All right, I can spin this. I think a lot of times people forget, including comrades themselves, that we are human at the end of the day. There's plenty of propaganda that would say otherwise. But, we're all just people. We're all just trying to make something work. And sometimes we're going to have a personality. And sometimes that personality means doing a shitposting episode, even when we didn't.
Ultimately, we are all striving and fighting for a better world.
Can't even talk one at a time.
There might be a delay. Go ahead, Larry. I'll say my thing after.
I don't even remember what I said.
You know the problem.
I was so ready for Larry to be like, "Well, I don't want to say it now."
No, I don't want to.
You know what the problem is? We didn't do the intro.
You're right.
We didn't do an intro. We just went into it. I was like, all right, okay.
We started talking. It was good. We had things to say.
There we go. So,
but what I was going to say is that we are striving and fighting for a better tomorrow, but that includes looking at the very depressing reality of today and what we need to do to fix that. And it's very easy to really get really, really depressed as a communist. And it helps to talk about dumb shit every now and again, just to keep your sanity. And recently the YouTube channel Marxism Today, they did a whole video on Barbie, and in the middle of it, they were like, "Yeah, we're talking about Barbie because I'm losing my mind. Everything sucks, and I'm sad, and I just want to talk about a dumb movie."
Yeah, honestly, I think I needed that because I'm cutting you off, Larry. I feel like I needed this because as I was telling you guys, audience, I don't know, just punchy. I hate libs, I hate anarchists, I hate bourgeois. I just felt very, very frustrated this morning. So I think, I don't know, I don't want to be like, oh, this episode was garbage. It's not garbage, it's real, and I love it.
I think you're all revisionists. I'm going to go some ring dings.
All right, so let's all collectively listen to Richmond north of Richmond, since we are revisionists now.
Do you think we can get away with that? We're putting like 30 seconds of it into the YouTube intro.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, what are you talking about?
Wait a minute! What? I like how at the end here we're getting like more views. I think we should talked our way into.
We need to go back to talking about the mustache man and Proudhon.
We can definitely talk about a bunch of stuff still. Like there's tons we could talk about. It's been we took a week off, you know.
We lost our edge in that week and found some nonsense.
We found a lot of nonsense.
We certainly did.
Cutie's gonna rip us apart in the post-show meeting.
I can't wait.
No, you're good. Don't worry. I still have to make my video. I can't talk shit about anybody until I make the video that I've said I've been making for like the past 3 weeks.
I got 2 on you. I got 2 on all of you.
You got 1 on me. I have my video coming out tomorrow.
That's true.
My video's ready to go. It's just
whoa! What is happening
on the thing? What is this?
We're getting gifts.
Gifts.
Bro, what is happening? What is this?
Gifts.
Wow, gift economy.
I guess you guys aren't popular enough to know what gifts are.
Wow, Cutie, piece of shit. You stay on TikTok live though, so.
That's true. You're right.
Xi Jinping recently, we'll do a little more news. It was talking about greater state control. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But at what cost?
That's
at what cost? I read an article where China is curing cancer too fast, but at what cost? Don't laugh. They actually said that in the fucking article.
They did. I know what article you're talking about. I saw it too.
Good God.
But at what cost?
Yeah. There's going to be too many gosh dang Chinese.
Yeah. But at what cost? At the cost of not what you would fucking charge, neolibs.
Who's gonna pay for it?
Who's gonna pay for it?
Are you pulling a Matt Galvatron?
Maybe.
That's an inside joke that's not going to take off for another 4 years until our.
I don't even understand the inside joke.
It's okay, BB. I'll explain it to you later.
So inside that
fuck you.
Actually.
This is the episode I think Cuties talk the most.
Yes.
See, it goes to show if we want Cutie to talk more, we just gotta shit talk and shit post live.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm going to change my profile pic to the soy Wojak now, and
it's not that already.
Bad episode. Hey, don't make me break out the Italian.
Hey, yo, come on.
What the fuck is happening?
What do you think?
I've lost track.
We've gone off the rails.
This is the best episode.
I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. I'm gonna be real with you.
Well, Cruz was trying to keep us on track, talking about Xi Jinping and
yeah.
How they're making femboy AI.
Yes.
State mandated femboy AIs.
But at what cost?
But at what cost?
Where is my state mandated girlfriend? I mean, come on.
Oh.
I'm saying.
I'm
saying. That's the red fascist authoritarian that I want. That femboy AI.
That's what we're ultimately fighting for. Is femboy AIs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we're ultimately fighting for our femboys. I think that's more a fascist thing, to be honest.
It's very much. It's
femboys?
Yeah.
Yeah. They
That's
really,
the thing.
really like their femboys.
They love femboys. Oddly enough, furries are
Yeah.
a lot of times will have fascist leanings.
I mean, it makes sense because, I've always described as fascism being a false revolution where it preys on particularly men who are vulnerable and convinces them, this, that, and the third, I don't want to get into it, that doing such and such would be right for them. Usually being some, based in race science or based in, the removal of class, but not by actually creating no class, but by pretending that there had never have been any. So you get a lot of these people who have these oppressed feelings in order to fit into, fascist society, such as homosexuality, or if you like furries, or whatever. And then it comes out in these usually pretty, I don't want to say this word because it's really associated with fascism, but, degeneracy. Because I imagine, the fascists aren't meeting up with femboys consensually, because fascists don't do anything consensually.
No. They do things by force, by nature.
Right.
They're femboytarians.
What?
Shut up. I called them femboytarians.
I figured. I love it.
Absolutely. I think.
Open up! Police!
What happened? He said, I think.
What do you think?
Forget what. No. That was it.
It's like I needed to say something to fill the dead air. I didn't know what I thought, but Jesus Christ. God damn it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. The people are having fun.
Larry, what happened? All right, he got libbed. The FBI in the walls got him.
I wonder if he lost his. Did you lose your live living privileges?
Oh shit, he might have.
No, you're not allowed to speak anymore.
Just in the middle of a broadcast.
They were just like silence him. Oh man. So where do we go from here, boys? He's back.
Guys, I had a knock at the door as well. So
Oh,
FBI.
the feds are on it tonight.
they're just ready to go.
On this episode.
This episode is extreme levels of based, and they're just like, all right, we got to move in now.
Yeah, it was so off the rails. They actually knocked on my door and they're like, "Hey, you guys need to get back on track."
Like, can you guys chill?
This is the episode that's most off the rails, but we barely talked about glizzies, and we shouldn't. Let's talk about something real. Veganism.
What was that?
Like hot dogs.
Yeah, veganism is something we were talking about.
Yes.
What do you got to say about veganism?
I think generally it's fine. That's how you want to play it out. Like me, I generally don't eat meat like 99% of the time. I eat plenty of glizzies, but no meat. But I think, just like all liberalism, when liberals tend to have this very highlighted, decadent version of themselves that they believe to be. And just like the man from Richmond, north of Richmond, get really mad when poor people feed their kids meat and equate that with them being somehow morally or just a worse person overall, instead of understanding that maintaining a vegan lifestyle is very expensive.
And it goes to this thought that individual actions are going to be the solution for a lot of the conflicts and contradictions that we face today. Like, I know a lot of people will bring up, if everyone just went vegan, we'd probably make a huge dent in solving the climate crisis. But that's just not logistically possible, nor would you be able to enforce actually keeping everyone vegan. Because as long as animals exist, someone's going to eat one of them.
Right, and nor do markets work that way. You can't by your individual actions markets. The industries for beef and et cetera, they would not simply go away. You could even with a large scale movement, which is still not going to get nearly enough people on board to stop eating beef, for example, they would just produce pigs more, or they would produce chickens more. You're not going to put an industry out of business because of your individual choices, even if there's 500,000 of you. It's just more idealist nonsense from liberals that.
Unironically, the only way in which you could potentially accomplish that is via planned economy under a socialist system, and you'd have to convince enough people to essentially choose. Like, you still have to convince the individual, but the people actually making the policies and bringing it back down for the people to vote on, everyone have to essentially voluntarily, via planned economy, say, yes, we don't want meat anymore.
What are you talking about? We are going to come to their houses and confiscate their grills, strip their freezers of any beef or venison they may have.
Well, hold on. You need the grill so you can grill like peppers and stuff. Okay, just
no, we don't do that anymore because
eat it raw.
Grilling.
I don't know, guys. If you look at like what China did the other day, where they arrested that CIA agent instead of just an eye, we can bleep that out if we have to. It really goes against the whole tanky fash narrative.
I'm sorry for laughing, but holy shit! I guess fucking Cruz like 2 minutes ago just like stuttered his words to like one time, and you're like, I just started fucking laughing.
Oh, boy.
You're like, I'm gonna get to the point, Cruz.
I was making a point.
It's because he stuttered, and I was just.
I did
shitty.
stutter, and you called it out, and now everyone knows.
You were like trying to give him moral support, but it just sounded like you're like giving him attitude, like
No, I wasn't trying to give him moral support. I was trying to be a jerk.
Adam Sandler in fucking Billy Madison, where you're like, today, Junior.
Yeah, there was some sass behind that.
That was the point. I wasn't trying to be nice. And Huey started dying.
So they were like having their serious conversation, and I was just giggling in the background.
Well, yeah, we figured out you're not trying to be nice. You're talking about CIA agent. You said you were a little pissy this week. I could tell.
I really am, guys. I just, not to bring it so serious, but it's like, where I may or may not work is not, administration is not signing a fair contract. And it's just super sad. Like, my whole thing, again, people who don't know, I'm a nurse. I work with disabled people. And it's just like, to see the world's most vulnerable population being taken care of by people like the direct workers who make $15 an hour and are just asking for a little bit more. And they can't get more because admin is refusing. It's like nobody's happy in this place. Nobody's happy in this industry. It's just super sad. So I guess that's why I'm pretty pissy and wouldn't mind, we can insert a bleep, but some ordinary action. I'm going to bleep that anyway because that's going to get me caught with the feds. Because I'm so over it.
Yeah.
So one thing,
fucking late, dude. You already 6.
One thing to talk about that would be good to talk about would be attempting to maintain revolutionary optimism, especially when we come across situations like that. Because you, and I assume many of your coworkers, 100% know what's best and what needs to be done. So, how would you suggest keeping revolutionary optimism when Facebook?
People in the fucking eye, Cruz.
You obviously you need a podcast where we can have an ADHD episode where we talk about
Exactly.
random shit every 5 fucking
Sometimes you need an
seconds.
ADHD episode.
No,
Sometimes,
no, no. To answer your question, um, like how do we cope with that? Is
yeah,
basically what you're gonna ask me. I
because I'm
think
sure many
one.
people that we don't have like an extreme number of people watching live, but other people may watch it on the YouTube at Kollectiv TV in the future, and many of them will likely have felt sort of a disillusionment or depression when it comes to this, especially if they're not winning in that
Yeah,
particular moment. So,
absolutely.
how to cope with that kind of stuff and maintain your revolutionary optimism. Like, what's something y'all do?
Right. And don't sell yourself short. We get pretty decent, for early YouTube video views on our
Oh yeah,
podcast. But at least for me, it's hanging out with you guys, my friends, my comrades, doing this kind of practice online, making these videos, and having kind of really like a silly episode like this. I think like I don't know, unless Cutie rips us apart at the post-show meeting. I think we kind of just needed this after our little break. I think we just needed to get all the silly and the bullshit out because, then we'll go back next week, talk about more serious things, theory, doom and gloom, war, whatever. But I think sometimes not taking it so seriously also helps because when you're building principle, when you are becoming a principled Marxist, like you said, it can be very depressing. But we also have to remember at the end of the day that we are human beings and we need friends. We need whoever you define as family. You need laughter. You need to find, something that's going to really just for a moment, distract you, but in a healthy way. So like for me, and then I'll stop talking, like for me in my little, circle, what I do in the medical field is, oh man, I'm going to sound so corny, but it's interacting with these people who are helpless and really seeing what they appreciate. And it really does humble you. Like, I work multiple jobs, and at one of my jobs, I work with this one person, and I have struggled to understand why I'm drawn to her. Like, why do I think she's so funny and like whimsical? And it's because this person who can't walk, who can't, vocalize like we do, who communicates in ways that we don't communicate in. She's just a happy person, and that makes me happy. And also pissing the cutie off because he's probably thinking, where the fuck was this energy 20 minutes ago when you were having an ADHD meltdown?
Cutie over here losing his mind.
No, I'm good.
But yeah,
I'm good.
that's good. Like having that community and that outlet to just be human for a second, and
For sure.
and just kind of get away from it. Like we ultimately are all going to die.
Rip.
What?
And I don't know if I'm bursting anyone's bubble here. You're gonna die.
Are you yanking my chain, pal?
And hopefully revolution comes within our lifetime. I think it's absolutely necessary that it comes within our lifetime if humanity is going to be secure for the future. But ultimately we are still going to die, and we can push and push and push, but we have to remember to take these moments to be people and connect with everybody.
Based. What about you, Larry? What do you do to cope with this hellhole?
Well, when I have the funds available to do so, I like to spend my summers in Vratsa, wrangling bunnies, and when I can't do that, I mostly masturbate. So that's about it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Self-care.
Jesus.
Why did it sound like someone smashed their head on their table?
It was my hand. I hit the table. Not super hard, just a bit table.
Picture you like slamming your head into your desk.
No.
Like just me slamming my head into things.
Self-care is what we're getting at.
Absolutely, self-care.
Self-care, okay.
I think I want to edit this episode.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
This is our most wholesome episode, I would say, for sure.
For sure.
Top 10 at least.
All right, cutie. You want top 10? You don't even have 10.
This, of all of our episodes, this is certainly one of them.
This is what I thought it would start like. Cutie,
Oh my god.
what do you like to do to cope with this nightmare?
I like to watch soccer and videos about
Fucking
soccer. I like to play soccer.
Are you fucking for real right now?
I do. I play soccer. I watch soccer. I play video games about soccer. I do. I like to play other games too. Some of my cringe lord map games where I LARP as a communist, and I always win because I'm awesome.
You mean console commands?
No, I don't use. I used to use console commands all the time because I was shit at the game, but now I don't.
Based.
Yeah, and then I recently I've been enjoying myself by screaming into the void at anarchists.
Mm-hmm. How's that going for you?
Okay. I on my own videos I really have like area there because they the like the right wing meme where it's like it's a leftist meme and they have like 1,000 characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally just a meme of me being like anarchists are cringe and dumb, and then they have like 7 pages of a response to me, and I'm like wrong, and then it's very enjoyable for me.
I love it.
Cope and calm cope.
It's gonna be crazy when I would say it'd be crazy when they bust into Kollectiv HQ and wipe us all out, but I bet they couldn't even organize that.
Could be outside and we'd be like, what are you doing?
No, but you know what? Okay, to be fair, because we have a lot of homies on here who are kind of anarchists, but I like to think in my own headcanon they are more Marxist-Leninist than anarchist. Or they're anarchists in the sense that, like, how I'm an anarchist in the sense that, yeah, we want the same moneyless classless society. I just understand what we need to do to get there. You don't.
Wait, they're anarchists in there. Who? I want names. We are putting together new lists tonight.
We are putting together the NKVD gulag lists.
Mm-hmm.
You are being sent to work camp.
We'd probably
You
get
will labor there
of...
for no more than 10 years hard labor. Then you'll be free to do whatever you want.
Well, we'll provide 3 meals a day.
You will like it.
You will learn the value of the revolution out in the wilderness.
God damn it. Oh.
I think Watch Party anarchists are fine. I think it's just like, the ones that you deal with online are usually insufferable ones.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good. I mean, there is a difference between online anarchists, in online communists and Marxist-Leninists, and people you meet in the real world too. Like,
Yeah, a lot of
There's a difference.
anarchists just. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying there's a difference. That was it.
Fucking try.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say a lot of anarchists are just they're just liberals who find that liberalism is cringe, as they say, and so they want a rebellious thing that they can do. So anarchism is a very attractive thing, especially when you're young. It's idealistic, all this, but they just don't have any idea what they're doing, and they can be just like any liberal or conservative or well, not libertarian maybe, but liberals, conservatives, anarchists can all be educated properly.
I would say in some ways, anarchism is like a stage of that development, at least in the West, where you first break away from like recognizing this system sucks, but you haven't necessarily gotten rid of all the propaganda of like the Soviet Union was, especially in the early days, pretty good at what it was doing.
I mean, the anarchists also have to deal with a lot of like chauvinism, where they think that like they're the first motherfucker that has ever thought of this ever, and everybody has to listen to them.
And
they're like, "Did you guys think about this thing? I thought about this about we can value labor and making stuff." It's like, God damn it, dude! Can you just read a book for 1 fucking second? Why do you have to reinvent the wheel? Oh my God!
Look, I appreciate your enthusiasm. Hold on to that thought. Read these books. Develop your thinking. Let's go.
And you're like, I disagree. And they're like, well, you just haven't thought about things from our perspective.
I was just thinking, like, I was trying to debate how I wanted to phrase this, and I was like trying to make a joke where I was like, "But have you seen any baddie anarchist bitches?" But it just didn't. It didn't flow.
What? What? Canceled.
Oy vey.
There's no bleep going there.
This is obviously this is men on a podcast episode.
Yep.
Oh my God, I have a headache.
Jesus Christ.
You guys are great.
Anarchism described as
we're like, all right, reset moment, reset.
Spicy.
Well, that's the beauty of editing. See, this is why we shouldn't do the StreamYard, because we'll never be able to edit this shit down.
Yeah, right.
No, we'll find a way. We always do.
We're going to have to go to StreamYard because I think a couple of us might be kicked off of live for real after
it seems like Larry might not be able to do lives for much longer.
He keeps phasing in and out.
It's that Albanian bunker, dog.
Yeah.
Bro's been down there since Hocha.
Bro made a joke for the first episode and forgot. We got him.
Yep. They got him, boys.
I think somebody's at the door again. That's it. They're just muted.
I had to step outside to engage in cigarette activity.
Who's dead? Oh, I thought someone was peeing. I was about to say, you guys are fucking pigs. Come on.
No, that was me running the water.
Oh, okay.
I meant to mute it.
Oh my God. Well,
we're canceled.
What's crazy is someone is gonna listen to this episode on the YouTube and be like, "These guys are great. What else are they like?" And all our other episodes are like way more structured and serious.
We're just like,
we're talking about action. We're talking
in order to bring about
there's a plan.
We're like, and BRICS is an economic bloc, right, guys?
We're like CPUSA in a podcast. They're boring and white.
We are currently 1.5 Latinos and 2.5 white people.
more like 1.2, but okay.
I'll give it a 1.2. That's fair. 1.25. Give me that quarter.
No, because I don't give away people anything.
That's fair.
Oh, God. All right, boys. So, I think we did it. I don't know how much more longer I can handle this insufferable nightmare. What's the view?
I think we have found a good stopping point.
Yeah, I think all 9 of these people currently watching should like go to our YouTube channel and then subscribe, and like watch some of our other stuff, or wait for my video that's coming out tomorrow, and then Muerte, who is not here, is going to give you a forehead smooch at some point. We're not sure when, but eventually.
And eventually I will have some stuff on there as well. And, over time, the YouTube channel is going to expand and expand and expand. So if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe.
This motherfucker just say and contract.
And expand and contract, yes.
I said
it's going to expand like my Brazilian butt lift
expand.
after I get $1 million from this thing.
Nowhere but up. Line go up.
Zigs and zags.
Line go up.
You guys are the worst.
Line go up like star and sky.
Yes.
As Cutie Pie said, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel where we're way more serious and based. This has been a cacophony. We're not doing this next week.
Great word.
No, next week will be more regular programming.
Maybe that's what we should do, right? Like when we have our little breaks, just our first intro back from breaks are just like more cash. We'll call it something.
No plan, off the rails. You know what we should do? We should all play Minecraft.
Ooh.
Yes.
You know what we can do on Minecraft?
We can do whatever we want.
We can
Exactly.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Jesus Christ. God damn it.